Welcome to Eye on America. I'm Michelle Miller. Today we examine a range of troubling issues in U.S. education and meet the people behind some promising solutions. In Wisconsin, we see how one company is providing students with fresh food by bringing the farm inside their school. And in Pennsylvania, we check out a unique summer camp getting more young girls involved in extreme sports. But we begin in Louisiana, where failing infrastructure is an alarmingly common issue. The average public school building in the U.S. is nearly half a century old, leaving many in desperate need of repairs. Mark Strassman reports on why some say relief is not coming fast enough.
So what do we got here?
Right here, look at the top. The ceiling tiles right here are falling down. Right here, we have tape holding these ceiling tiles right here. This is a water fountain that is in use. Here, it's not steady.
Could you just fix this?
Well, it could be fixed. It could be repaired, but we're pulling funding from the classroom.
And where are we going next?
Baker Heights Elementary is falling apart.
The reason that you have this smell is because of the backup from the sewage.
A restroom with this raw sewage and it smells so bad the kids can't even use it.
The kids can't even use it.
Timothy Scott's job, save the school day, somehow patch whatever's broken.
Does it hurt your heart not to fix these?
Oh, it does. Oh, certainly it hurts my heart.
Outside Baton Rouge, Baker, Louisiana is home to roughly 12,000 people. The population and tax base are shrinking. The infrastructure is crumbling. All 5 school buildings were built in the 1950s.
Typically, when you have declining enrollment, it's tough to do anything. But if you're going to build a new facility, that's usually left to the local community.
Superintendent J.T. Stroder met us at one of Baker's 2 shuttered schools.
Our school infrastructure is reflective of community infrastructure as a whole.
Yes, I think they are. You can drive around the community and you'll see how those kind of match. The way a student feels about their surroundings and their atmosphere affects how they perform on academically.
America's infrastructure grades are in, and the grades are bad. Overall, America's infrastructure, from roads and bridges to drinking water, get a grade of C-. And the needed investment to bring America's schools up to par, $870 billion.
Going down to the window.
Mayor Darnell Waits showed us Baker's challenges.
Everything that I do is infrastructure.
You know what the problems are. Why don't you just fix them?
It takes money.
There was that bipartisan infrastructure law in 2021. Did any of that money help you?
It will in the future. If we can take the red tape out of there, it'll be a lot easier.
In 2021, Congress allocated more than $1 trillion to rebuild America's infrastructure. Louisiana Republican Senator Bill Cassidy was instrumental in negotiating that deal.
If you're talking about communities that are in genuine need of significant infrastructure help, if these communities are complaining that the federal government has not stepped up, how would you respond?
During the COVID epidemic, billions were sent to state and local educational authorities. But oftentimes when the federal government puts up dollars, the state and local pull back, and the net sum remains constant. But what the federal government has done has created everything that, with appropriate local and state leadership, expands the economy of a community.
To date, the infrastructure law has funded more than 40,000 projects across the country. Back in Baker, a 2016 flood closed the high school. Ever since, high school students have had classes in the middle school building.
I would say I do feel forgotten about. Kind of ashamed to, say what school you go to.
I feel mostly left out at the opportunity to be something bigger.
The water-damaged high school will reopen this fall, 8 years later.
We don't have that experience, like a bigger environment for us to grow in and flourish in, but I'm hopeful for the future.
In many American communities, that's something else America has been slow to rebuild: hope.
We turn now to rising concerns over school bus safety. The vast majority of buses don't have seat belts, let alone the 3-point restraints offering the best protection in the event of a crash. Here again is Mark Strassman on how travels to school could get safer.
Trouble is seconds away for these happy riders, suddenly bouncing around their school bus like sneakers in a dryer. Most of America's 500,000 school buses have no seat belts. Accident videos show the impact. Doug Williamson has to live it.
Heart was just crushed.
Even today?
Today.
His sister, Jennifer Williamson Kennedy, a 5th grade teacher, was killed in a school bus crash in 2018. The bus had lap belts, but not the much safer 3-point safety belts.
If they were all had safety belts that day, it would have been a better outcome.
Certainly would have had a better chance.
Yes, yes.
We watched this crash test in Indiana. A box truck moving 40 miles per hour hurtles into a stationary school bus. Crash dummies inside wearing 3-point seat belts barely moved, but the unbelted ones went flying. Over one 10-year period, 1,110 people were killed in school bus crashes, an average of 111 people a year. Because of that, 8 states have laws on the books requiring seat belts on new school buses.
It is horrific to watch those small bodies flying through the air.
In 2015, Mark Rosekind, then administrator of the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration, or NHTSA, recommended a first: seatbelts on school buses. Many in the industry fought back, especially about the cost, about $8,500 per bus.
They use that as the excuse not to take action in an area they know could save lives.
Another red flag: every yellow bus has no airbag for the driver, until now.
This is an industry first time that there's been 3-point lap shoulder belts as standard equipment.
Britton Smith's the president of Bluebird, a major bus manufacturer. Starting this fall, its new buses will offer 3-point seat belts for every passenger, and next year, a driver airbag at no extra costs.
The safety advocacy groups and safety agencies have been calling for it for years, and Bluebird is finally answering the call.
Remember, only 8 states mandate seat belts. Rosekind's hoping Bluebird's change clicks for every bus maker.
This should be a gauntlet. This should be the standard.
A milestone for the industry, starting a long ride to a safer future.
Coming up, want to take a cooking class? How about borrow a ukulele? We'll show you how libraries are evolving to meet the changing needs of their communities. This is Eye on America. Welcome back. Libraries have been facing competition for in-home technology for years. It's why many are coming up with new ways to stay relevant and serve the growing needs of their patrons, like connecting people to social services or offering educational opportunities. Meg Oliver checks out one library that's embarked on this new chapter.
Take a guess where this is. Shop class? Guess again.
Love risotto.
The kitchen in a fancy 5-star restaurant.
Heavy sticking now.
Not quite. If you're in Columbia, South Carolina, you're in the Richland Public Library, a national leader in reimagining libraries' place in our communities, where card catalogs now hold gardening seeds.
So what's in here? This is our library of things, and you can check out just about anything. So what do you have? We've got a little bit of everything. We got a ukulele for the music lover, games and toys like a kite.
Executive Director Melanie Huggins has pioneered this extraordinary evolution.
We have always been in the business of making people's lives better. I think that is the history of public libraries across the globe.
That history dates back to 1895 and the founding of Columbia's first library branch. But an economic ebb and flow combined with advancements in technology led Huggins and her team to write a new chapter for a community in need.
We think of our spaces as places to learn, to share, to create, and we create quiet spaces and let the rest of the library just be vibrant and active.
La Declaración Federal.
Here, job seekers can lean on career counselors, social workers help the homeless, and people suffering from food insecurity. Education is also a top priority.
I didn't know our libraries contribute to us getting our education. I just thought you come in here and get a book.
Now people like Latita Miller can take free online classes and earn a high school diploma. The 40-year-old single mom of 4 dropped out of high school after having her first baby at 14.
How rough was that?
It was very, very difficult because I had to grow up early, had to learn more responsibility at that age.
After years of struggling and working multiple jobs, she went back to high school through the library's program in 2022.
I wouldn't have never known about it if I had not came through here and found out about my high school diploma.
Developing innovative ways to stay relevant is now a national trend for American libraries. In Salt Lake City, the library has a sound booth where people can record their own albums. In Chicago, vending machines are stocked with free supplies from hygiene kits to Narcan.
There's nobody else doing this work.
Groundbreaking work, improving lives like Latita's. This spring, she proudly accepted her high school diploma.
You can accomplish so many things here.
And so will many others, thanks to rethinking a cultural institution to better seed their futures by giving them all the tools they need.
Squeeze it, squeeze it.
Hunger is a major problem facing education systems across the country. 1 in 5 children in the U.S. don't have enough to eat or access to healthy food. Here's Roxana Saberi with a look at efforts to bring farms inside schools.
At Ashwaubenon High School near Green Bay, Wisconsin, a fresh take on cafeteria food is flourishing.
When you get a bite of the salad, it's just amazing.
I eat it every day at school.
So fresh.
Do you know where it comes from? No idea.
It was grown and picked just down the hallway.
Fresh food can be grown easily in Wisconsin in the middle of the winter.
With no soil in sight, this indoor hydroponic garden relies on circulating water, special nutrients, and around-the-clock light from LEDs.
We've done tomatoes, beans, sugar snap peas.
Each month, the machines cost around $360 to run. But nutrition coordinator Caitlin Tariainen says the school is actually saving money by growing 850 pounds of produce for up to 2,000 students instead of buying organic greens.
A lot of our kids aren't exposed to fresh foods at home just because it's financially hard for the families to purchase those kind of things.
Is this the only place where they're getting fresh vegetables?
It may be, absolutely.
It sets up in about 45 minutes.
The system stemmed from the imagination of Wisconsin native Alex Tyke. Trained as an opera singer, he got into rooftop gardening in New York City between gigs and turned the 2,500-year-old technique into a modern-day company called Fork Farms.
Food is already having to travel further and further to get from seed to plate. Our food system is failing us.
It's probably some of the best lettuce I've ever eaten.
Mark Gierock got grants to buy 2 of the $5,000 devices for the food bank he runs near Milwaukee.
As the cost of food continue to rise, it becomes more valuable than anything else.
In Milwaukee public schools, where school officials say more than 80% of students are economically disadvantaged, 80 units have sprouted.
What kind of plants are these?
There's chives and cilantro.
11th graders Absheng Zhang and Theo He help manage the largest one in the basement of Vincent High School.
So did some plants die along the way?
Yeah, a lot.
A lot?
Yes, a lot.
Since we do grow culturally diverse vegetables, I've learned a lot more because at first I didn't know what bok choy or tatoy was, and I really liked it.
And teacher Tyler Foote says they're harvesting more than just vegetables.
We want to show students that we're able to grow food wherever and however.
They're planting seeds for a healthier future.
Can you one day feed your whole school with what you grow here?
It would be a dream of ours to be able to do that.
Ahead, a haven for young athletes training for some of the newest Olympic sports. That story is next. We close our show with a visit to Camp Woodward in Pennsylvania. But this isn't your ordinary sleepaway camp. Instead of hiking or capture the flag, kids are learning extreme sports from some of the best skateboarding and BMX athletes in the world. Dana Jacobson went there to see how it's creating the next generation of sports stars.
In the central Pennsylvania town of Woodward, about 30 miles east of State College, kids can get the traditional summer camp experience, like a slip and slide and s'mores. But that's not all. The draw at Camp Woodward, 9 action sports, including BMX, scooter, and skateboard.
They're like sponges, and they need mentors.
General Manager Lisa Pham has been with Camp Woodward since 2006.
And when kids come here and they learn how to do the trick on Monday, Tuesday, and they perfect it by the time they get to Friday, Saturday to depart, it's insane. It's amazing.
With a large gap in the number of boys versus girls at camp, Pham helped launch efforts to get more girls involved.
The number of girls here now as compared to when you started. Can you even describe what that is?
No, it's like, it's multiple. How many girls are coming here? How many more pros are coming here that are female and girls in action sports? It's just amazing. So then now these little campers have someone that they can look up to and aspire to hopefully hit that level of Olympics.
Skateboarding to me, in a way, is like, it transcends all these barriers.
Like Lizzie Armanto, one of the most influential women in the sport, with 3 X Games medals to her name, her very own skate shoe, and even a video game character. In 2018, she became the first woman ever to successfully skate Tony Hawk's 360 loop and competed on the world stage, representing Finland when skateboarding made its debut at the Tokyo Games.
Skateboarding has given me so much. And it's places like this, it's X Games, like all those little pieces of it have led to skateboarding going to the world stage of the Olympics.
Yeah.
And it's such a special thing that like it can open up your world and give you opportunity unlike any other.
She recently visited Camp Woodward to lead a clinic.
Why do you come back to do this?
It's great. The kids, they're so excited. I love it because like kids will come to me and be like, I want to show you this clip that I got. And you see them make something that they've never done before, and the joy and the sense of self-worth that they have is like so apparent.
Armanto started skateboarding in 2007 at age 14, when she and her younger brother began visiting a skate park after school. She went pro in college and won her first X Games medal in Barcelona in 2013.
10 years ago, most of the other women that were professional had other jobs.
Yeah.
I was able to get a manager, which wasn't a very common thing at the time. And he was able to help solidify the relationships with the sponsors that I had, where I was getting product, but there was no pay. Once we solidified those relationships, I think there was more opportunity, not just for me, but also for other women.
The sport was originally known as sidewalk surfing, with the first commercial skateboards coming out in the late 50s. By the mid-70s, skateboarding was a culture, growing with each following decade.
When you were younger, did you notice that you were one of only a few girls?
Yeah, you were definitely like, you could feel at the skate park you were the only girl.
But it didn't bother you?
No, because I wanted to skate and like it looked cool, it felt cool. I think when you're just so in your head and you have your idea set out, just because you like look different, that wasn't gonna stop me.
Now a competitive sport with a $3.2 billion global market, more girls are finding skateboarding. But even Armanto admits it's taken time.
I think skateboarding gets a bad rap of being like dangerous and stuff, but women are tough.
Yeah.
And I think, skateboarding, it's also about style, and women have tons of style. Skateboarding is so new. It's such a young sport in the scheme of things. I think we're at the point where it's just ready to be for everyone. It's always been for everyone. Like anyone can pick up a skateboard and skate, but I think mainstream society, culture, the like negative connotations it had, that was not necessarily true, and I think we're realizing that.
Take one look at some of the kids at Camp Woodward, there's no doubt. Like Coco Waldo, who followed an older sister into skateboarding at age 5. Now 9, Coco looks like a veteran dropping into the 18-foot quarter ramp known as the Mini Mega.
I want to be like a pro vert skater.
Yeah. The Olympics maybe in the future?
And I like skating street too.
13-year-olds Chloe Harold and Bennett Godley got boards during lockdown. A pastime quickly transformed into a passion.
Tell me who you look up to.
Lizzie. Yeah,
Lizzie. So they couldn't miss out on the opportunity to skate with a hero.
It's just seeing them, another girl, do it. It's just like inspiring because I know that I can do it, because I always see the like boy pro skaters, and then seeing like a girl in person, it's like I could do that.
Does it matter whether it's a guy or a girl?
Not to me. They're all pros, they're all cool.
Yeah.
It's awesome to get to talk to them and like see that, obviously they're like, they started somewhere too.
And while the campers are inspired by the pros, for the girls especially, they're finding inspiration from each other too.
I just think it's like cool that there's more girls trying to do it.
Yeah. And being here this week, what's that like to have so many girls skating with you?
It's good. I like it.
It's like different.
Yeah.
I like it because there's not many girls at the skate park. And on our instruction, it's like all girls.
Yeah.
So it's like really cool to skate with a bunch of girls other than like a bunch of older teenage boys.
Yeah.
And whether it's the girls or boys at Camp Woodward, for Lizzie Armanto, ushering in the next generation of skateboarders is galvanizing.
Some of these kids, they just are going for it, and they just like make it happen, and you're like, wow, that was incredible, and it's like so invigorating, and that's why I love skating.
Yeah.
Because there's these moments where there's no way, and then it's possible, and you see it in these kids, and it opens up their whole world, because, you know, if they can do something that like was impossible yesterday, you apply that to any other part of your life, and like you can do incredible things.
For more stories like these and live coverage of breaking news, stream us right here on CBS 24/7. I'm Michelle Miller. Thank you for watching Eye on America.